What's up, guys? Just taking a little drive between appointments. Just got a email over. Somebody was asking me about starting a roofing company, and just had a few questions for me. So figured I'd cover something that when I first started, that I was debating on and thinking about, was the absolute start of the business was to create a name. And you think about it for a while, you want something awesome, you want something cool, something that's catchy, something that's big, or some people just, they use their initials or last name or a phrase. And what I thought about was, what's something big, something that's known, something that there's other companies. And I thought about Paramount, and I had thought about a whole bunch of names. I was going to call it Summit Construction. Paramount came up, which it is now. But there was a whole bunch of names I had, big names, and then I thought about it, and what came to my mind was, there's a lot of companies named Paramount Pictures, Paramount Coffee, there's Paramount. I mean, just about every trade there's a Paramount. So what I did when I thought about it is I went online, and this is something you should always do too. Go online and type in your company name and a couple, for me it'd be Paramount Roofing, Paramount Construction, Paramount Building, Paramount Builders, and see if there's anything on the web of anybody, I would say in your state that has that name. And if they have anything close to that, I would stay away and I changed it to something else. But when I first started and I created Paramount and I created the logos, and I'll go into the branding and stuff too, but when I created the logos and I went to my first couple jobs, after a few months of being in business, people were like, oh, I seen your trucks, oh, I seen your logo, I seen the name. And it's like, there was no trucks, there was no, the name was brand new. So things like that, it's just because people see Paramount and then they recognize it automatically. Oh, I've heard of you, I've seen your trucks, I've seen this. Yeah, you see trucks with Paramount on it because there's so many different companies named Paramount. But they weren't seeing me. But it makes it seem big. It makes it seem way bigger than it is. It's Paramount Building. It's Paramount. It's big company, which gains trust, but it also gains, for you, that people recognize you. So when you're thinking about your name, I would do the same thing, like think about something creative and something big. I didn't use initials just because I thought of it like my initials would be ESR. So I do all these jobs, ESR roofing, ESR construction, whatever. And then somebody, asks somebody, yeah, I had great service. Do you know a roofer? Oh yeah, it was. And then they're trying to remember 3 initials. There's so many companies around me, and I'm sure around you too, that have initials. And how the hell is people going to remember 3 random letters over something like, oh, it was Paramount. It was Paramount. They're going to remember Paramount. They know it's locked in their brain. It's Paramount. So when thinking of a name, I would do the same thing. Try to think of something big, Summit, Paramount. Anything you can think of. Last names are good too, but it just depends on how common your last name is and what it is. It's not something people see every day or say every day. So for them to remember that, or read it as they're passing a sign. You have your little yard signs in your residential streets, and people are going 25 miles an hour passing them. They have to, they see it for a second, Paramount. They know it, they can read it. Or if your last name is, something long or something that's not, something short, then they're not going to remember it. They're not going to recognize it. So that would be my advice as far as for picking names of your company, and not just in roofing, but anything. And then the next thing I thought of was, we were making the Paramount logos, and I was like, oh, you've always heard in school and stuff, in college marketing classes, that red is the most recognizable color. So I was like, oh, I want everything black and red or white and red. And then I thought about it, it's like, man, every company's red, every company's blue, they have these color schemes. I was like, I don't know any company in my whole area that's black and neon green. Green's a landscaping color. So I was like, oh, it'd be perfect because I'm the only one. So when you see my yard signs, they're black, it's black background with a big, bright green Paramount logo on it. So it's recognizable. No one else has that color. So it kind of separates my brand from everybody else's brand. Plus you have a cool little logo, nothing complex. You've seen mine. It's just a little mountain that's got a house in the end. It's totally recognizable at a glance. You don't have to look up on it because it's a person or an animal with a nail gun or something. So it's very simple. that I would definitely advise that as well. You know, when you're making your logo and you're making your color, if you're in landscaping, I wouldn't go green. Everybody has green. Go, you know, construction colors, go bright yellow or black and orange, blazing orange. Something different from your industry so that distinct, you from everybody else. But definitely do research on the top companies and everybody that's competitive right in your local area, and see what other people's colors are, see what their names are, see what the big companies are calling themselves, and kind of play off that. And then, once you get that stuff going, you got your logo, you got a color, you got a name. I don't do much into the slogans and, stuff like that. To me, it's minuscule unless you're, Pepsi or something like that. But like your website, you want your website to look big, look nice. And what my website now lacks, and I'm redoing mine this winter, and I've got a lot of feedback on it, is it's great. It looks professional, it's really nice, but it's missing like the personal touch. A lot of people say that, like, who is Paramount? Like my picture, my family's picture, who created it, is not on the website. So people like that personal touch, and this winter I'm definitely going to redo it, to create a About Us page and have a picture of me and my wife and my kids and my mother-in-law who helped me run this business. So it has that like personal touch, and they can connect with you. They see you before you even come to your house. Sometimes people see YouTube videos of me before I come to their house. They're like, oh, I seen you on YouTube. So it kind of creates makes it more official to them. Like they've seen you somewhere and then you're coming to their house. So it's almost like a little bit of, a little bit of an upper end, a little bit of stardom for, that people see and then they meet you. So I would definitely recommend that. But what I did is as far as creating the website was, went around and looked at everybody's website, all my competition, see what I liked, see what I didn't like, and I kind of put it all together. Everything's black and neon green, so it's all branded really nice. I'm a big believer in logos. Everything I have has the Better Business Bureau logo on it, my Angie's List Awards on it, my Certainty 5-star Shingle Master Award, or Select Shingle Master Award on it. And you'll see it on my yard signs, you'll see it on my truck, you'll see it on my window at my showroom, that there's, Google sign, Facebook sign, all these logos like a NASCAR. For some reason that's, and I don't know anyone else that really does that, but to me, my flyers and my postcards that I send out, my door hangers, all have those logos all over it, because it's recognized. They can see the Facebook and recognize it. Go to the Facebook, check it out. You see a bunch of cool posts that we post. It's not all roofing stuff on the Paramount Facebook. It's a lot of with our community. We're part of the Chamber of Commerce. We help with donations, a lot of different stuff, and people see that you're involved and you're not just some greedy bastard out to make money and slap a roof on, that you actually stand behind your work and do a good job. So creating all these, and Keith Kalfas, he's really good at doing all this. He has a WordPress and he has blogs and he has all this stuff. I just pay to have it created for me, but he's much more involved with the social media and stuff than I am. But yeah, check that stuff out. But you want to create, especially in roofing, whatever industry you're in, I think it's important. But in roofing, you want to create something that separates you. So the more stuff you have in your folder, the more certifications you have, the more information about yourself, the more awards. Every time you achieve something, it goes into the folder, it goes onto the window. When you walk across my window, it has little awards on it. It has plaques and stuff, even stuff from the Chamber of Commerce in our local area. And people see it as they're walking by the showroom, and they're part of the chamber. They they help the community, which we actually really do. But anything you can help to build credentials, is what you want to build. In the roofing world, you always want to be, whatever shingle you like or manufacturer you like, you want to meet the reps. You want to get to know the reps. I'm a Certainty guy 100% across the board. I sell 5-star Certainty jobs all the time. Unless a customer absolutely makes me put on something else, I go Certainty all the way. I used to be in Owens Corning. I did some GAF, but I've never ever had a problem with the Certainty shingle. Plus the colors are nicer, the warranties. I don't want to get into that. But whatever you like, if you like GAF, call your local rep. You like Certainty, call your local rep. If you're in different business, whatever tools you like or whatever stuff you use, call their local reps. Get to know them, because they will help refer you business too. The Certainty rep around us in our region gives me jobs all the time. I do his buddies' houses, and I go to the conventions. They take me to the where they actually made the Certainty shingles. It's in they took it all to the plant, and we got to see the Certainty shingles and how they're made. So all that stuff, you always want to be in touch with everything that you're using, everybody you're using, because it all builds your network. More certifications, more, people trust you more. But when you're first getting started, those would be the few things, you know, that I'd focus on. You know, business name, colors, your brand, your logo, brand your logo, creation of website, automatic. And then another thing with creation of website, the other names that I pick, I put in the website and it was already taken. So I wasn't going to pick a name where it couldn't be my name, Paramount Building Inc. I didn't want to abbreviate anything. I didn't want anything to be not what it was, or not a .com, .net. I didn't want anything like that. I wanted it to be exactly my name, .com. So that's what, you know, I definitely check GoDaddy. You can go to GoDaddy and search any domain, but I would not shortchange it. I would not put hyphens in it or abbreviate things where it makes people hard. You know, it makes it hard for people to find your website. You type in Paramount Building Inc., bam, website comes up. There's no others around. So a few tips I have, you know, somebody just talked to me about starting their roofing company. So I'd figure I'd shoot a quick video and explain some of the stuff. But yeah, feel free to comment under the video, ask me questions. You know, I'll always respond to you. You know, if you have some questions about stuff I didn't cover or stuff you want me to cover. But yeah, man, I mean, I'm just out here just like you, started somewhere and getting there. And just doing the best I can, but always thinking ahead first and checking the bigger companies, because that's your eventually competition. You want to be as bigger than them. So you always want to model, you know, what other people are doing, tweak it, make it a little bit better, but make it personal too. You don't want to copycat anything. So I'm Eric, and let me know if you have any questions or suggestions, and if you would subscribe, I'd appreciate it. Thank you. See you again soon.